It's another episode of A Slice of Love. I know it's been a while, but hey, it is time for someone to start the conversation so you can think, brainstorm, we can actually grow from this, and it's time to get these podcasts back going. So for this episode of A Slice of Love, I'm hitting on, they have taught our sisters, and when I say sisters, I mean black women, to hate black men. And I already know jumping out to start is going to be very controversial, but it's about time someone said something. If you really think about what's been advertised through a lot of major media platforms, from music, movies, ads, and much more, you don't really see a lot of praises for the black man. If anything, it is advertised that the black man is lazy, doesn't work, he's a bum, he's not being able to provide for his means, and any little small mistake that he does, and keep in mind that we're all human, is magnified to a whole nother level, like a whole nother level. As if we forgot that there are other races out here that make mistakes and have probably done similar things. Now, I'm not saying that it's all good and you shouldn't make those mistakes. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is, for some odd reason, I wish we get past this. When a black man makes some mistakes, it is definitely put on the spotlight. We have to be 10 times, 20, maybe even 30 times better just to get the credibility. And what's being advertised in these movies is, in other platforms, is a black man has to make six figures, big baller, wearing the most expensive jewelry, house, and much more. Is that to say all black men do this? No. But what I'm saying is that the machine that's being put out there and being advertised to not only our black women, but to our young kids as well, is this. And it's very unrealistic. It is definitely very unrealistic. If you look at the census, the average income is definitely not. For a household, a family household that brings more than one person income in the household, and we're talking about 60, 70, 80, around that, depending on the state, maybe even more. That's a household of multiple incomes. But yet, you want one individual person by themselves to bring in six figures and to take care of all of your lifestyle. I didn't say your needs. I said lifestyle. Because needs are like shelter, food, clothes on your back. But I think we have confused this and put it to the point where, okay, if you're going to be a real man, and that's another terminology that I can't stand. Where did this come from, and what's the definition of a real man? And if you want to be really honest, that's a preference. It's an opinion that changes constantly from women to women and whoever that makes that statement or comment. Because the definition of what a real man is may be different to another person. Every partner woman, he has different needs and things like that. But to say that all men must have this to be categorized as a real man, it is definitely not put in our favor, and ungrateful at the same times. And when I say ungrateful, because you have actual good, hard-working black men out there that actually break their necks and backs to provide as much as they can. Is it probably the income they want to make? No, but it's just temporary. If anything, you must have faith and believe that he's going to get even better. But that hard-working man that's actually trying to do his best is not criticized and thrown as a bum just because of what's been advertised out to these major media platforms. Now, at the same time, if this is switched around, there's a lot more grace. But when it comes to a black man, it's heavily criticized. We got to have everything so perfect, from the perfect physique, from the perfect income, the perfect this, and much more. And in actual reality, nobody's perfect. If anything, your flaws make you unique so you can grow with each other. But yet we follow this stereotype and we follow these reality TV shows of believing, oh, I'm going to meet Prince Charming. He's going to sweep me off my feet, pay for everything, and I don't have to work. Newsflash, sweetie. That is not how the real world works. A lot of time, especially now, especially with the economy, how things are going, both parties have to work to provide the needs for the household. And God forbid if one of the parties gets sick. Now you have medical expenses to take care of, and you still got to handle the bills. And if you have kids, Lord bless your soul, because still the kid needs to be taken care of. And you want to follow this whole reality TV scheme or what you see on movies and TVs, that this is an actual reality. We need to stop living in this false fantasy. Because all it's doing is breaking up households and causing trauma. And even with that, even more damage to kids. Because now you're bringing the expectation that's not realistic. And you're teaching them that. You're teaching your daughters to look down upon black men or young boys unless he has his status. When it's more, it would be better to get to know the person and grow together and work together. We got to stop this notion of always tearing down the black male. It's hell enough already that there's already this black stigma of black males of always being dangerous, being uneducated, never to read. And it makes it worse when you have the black woman turn your back against the black male. You're not making the situation any better. You're making it worse. And it's about time someone says it. Because we need to be working together. And the last thing we need is for you to turn your back on us. And then there's come this whole notion of, well, I'm going to go outside the race because he has all the things that I'm looking for. Well, sweetie, yeah, he probably does. But you want to know how he has those things? It's because a good chunk of that stuff has been obtained through past history of slave labor, and assets has been passed down from generation to generation. That's the hard truth and reality that nobody wants to tell about. And they are so smart about it that they actually keep that generational wealth going on for years and years throughout the family. When it comes to us, the black families, we start from nothing. We don't always get a jump like the others. So with that said, stop looking and comparing because our storylines are completely different. We need to stop this whole hate nation and start building off of love. And stop looking at these damn reality TV shows and other things, because that, how I really feel about that, is some straight up fucking bullshit. False reality that's been educated and taught to our kids and adults. And then they wonder why there's anger and tension in the household. And so many marriages are falling apart because we try to live in a fantasy that is not real. If there's anything, we need to learn how to communicate, have grace for each other, grow with each other, understand each other, and understand that everybody's going to change throughout this process. It's part of the journey. Will there be hard times? Yes, there is. But you must fight and stick it out together. Together. I'm not saying just stick with a partner that's going to beat you upside the head and just tear you down. No. Find the right partner, but work together. Don't quit because things are not handed to you. Learn how to grow with each other. If anything, that makes the bond stronger when you fight through struggles. That's the problem with this generation. Everybody wants everything handed to them and then it got super soft. But that's my take on how society has pretty much brainwashed and destroyed the family households of black families. And it's time that we get back to that real black love and not this fantasy bullshit that's being taught now and destroying households or causing tensions. What do you think? It's another episode of A Slice of Love. Peace.